Los Angeles. Early afternoon. The California sun beat down hard on the dusty sidewalks of Compton. The air vibrated slightly above the heated asphalt. In a shiny black sedan driving slowly between low houses and tired palm trees, 50 Cent looked out the window. He had just left a recording session. Modern studio. State-of-the-art equipment. Focused producers. Everything was square. Professional. Profitable. But something felt empty. He had recorded 3 tracks. Technically perfect. Strategically smart. And yet, he ran his hand over his chin, thoughtful. Turn right here. His driver obeyed without question. 50 liked to drive around with no particular destination after a recording session. It reminded him of his early days in New York, when he had nothing but a crumpled notebook and immense rage in his gut. The car slowed down, and there he saw it. A huge mural painted on a slightly cracked concrete wall. The face of Tupac Shakur. Intense gaze. Tied bandana. An expression that was both gentle and determined. Underneath the portrait, a phrase. Still I rise. 50 froze. Stop. The car stopped. He got out slowly. The sun was brutal, almost blinding. No dramatic night. No protective shade. Just the harsh light of day. He approached the mural. The paint was fresh in places. Dried flowers lay at the foot of the wall. A small melted candle bore witness to a recent tribute. 50 crossed his arms. Tupac. He remembered the first time he heard him. He was just a kid, but he understood that this guy wasn't rapping for entertainment. He was rapping to survive. A faint sound pulled him out of his thoughts. A beat, distant, rhythmic, then a voice. 50 turned his head. About 30 meters away, in the same widened alley, a small group of young people formed a circle. A portable speaker sat on an upturned crate. Worn sneakers, focused gazes, a cypher, in broad daylight. No professional cameras, no security, no publicity, just the street. A slim young man with a backward cap was rapping intensely. His name was Jaden. They see us as numbers, not as sons. Like shadows that walk but never shine. His hands trembled slightly, but his voice remained steady. Next to him, a young woman with tight braids nodded her head in rhythm. Her name was Brianna. When Jaden finished, no one applauded loudly. They just clapped their fists together in respect. Brianna took over. Her flow was slower, more composed. Mom says pray, Dad says fight. I write so I don't become what they say I am. 50 stood still. He hadn't expected this. He had come down to see a mural, not to have his past come rushing back to him. The sun beat down on his shaved head. The light revealed everything. The scars, the lines of time. He saw himself younger, before fame, before millions, before the spotlight. Just him, a microphone, and an insatiable hunger. Jaden noticed his silhouette. He squinted. Yo, wait. The circle turned. Silence. They recognized him. The whispering began. Is that him? Seriously? No way. 50 raised his hand calmly. No arrogant smile. No star posture. Go on. Pretend I'm not here. Brianna stared at him for a few seconds. She looked for mockery. Judgment. All she saw was curiosity. The beat started again. But this time, the energy changed. Not out of fear. Out of defiance. Jaden stood up straight. If a legend is listening, I gotta speak the truth. 'Cause lies will never let me. 50 felt his heart race. Not because he was impressed, but because he recognized that feeling. That moment when you know that every word can define you. The circle wasn't perfect. The rhymes weren't always complex. But it was raw, authentic, alive. A light breeze stirred up some dust. 50 looked back at the Tupac mural, then at the circle, then at the mural, as if the past and the present were facing each other. He understood something. He hadn't ended up here by chance. He had come looking for inspiration, and he had just stumbled upon a reminder. Music isn't born in luxurious studios. It's born here, under the sun, in the heat, in the eyes that refuse to give up. Jaden finished his verse. Silence. Then Brianna said softly, do you want to listen? Or join the circle? The challenge was set, and for the first time that day, 50 Cent smiled genuinely. The sun was still high over Compton. No shadows to hide in. No stage lights. No smoke machines. Just heat. Concrete. Breath. The circle tightened. The portable speaker crackled softly as the instrumental looped. Dusty drums. A faint piano sample. Something that felt old school but wounded. Jaden wiped sweat from his forehead. Brianna crossed her arms, studying the man standing near the mural of Tupac Shakur. And there he was, 50 Cent, not surrounded by security, not holding a microphone worth thousands, just standing there listening. That alone shifted the energy. A tall kid in a red hoodie muttered, "Is he scouting talent?" Another whispered, or just passing through. 50 could feel it. The tension wasn't fan excitement. It was evaluation. In this circle, reputation meant nothing. Bars meant everything. Jaden stepped forward again. He didn't smile. He rapped, "I don't need a cosign. I need consistency." Industry promises lack authenticity. They build you to break you, then sell you the fall. Turn kings into cautionary tales for us all. His eyes locked briefly on 50. It wasn't disrespect. It was challenge. The circle murmured. Brianna stepped in immediately, her voice sharper this time. "Fame is a mirror. It cracks if it's fake. Pressure exposed what the diamonds can't take. We don't want flashes. We don't want applause. We want the truth behind money and scars." Silence. The beat kept looping. 50 inhaled slowly. They weren't starstruck. They were asking something deeper. "Are you still one of us?" The sunlight hit his face, and for a moment, everything blurred. He wasn't in Los Angeles anymore. He was back in South Jamaica, Queens. Basements. Sweaty rooms. 5 dudes rapping over the same instrumental. No deals. No guarantees. Just hunger. He remembered what it felt like to be dismissed. To be doubted. To be told he'd never make it. He remembered almost dying. And he remembered deciding that survival wasn't enough. Domination was the only answer. But domination changes you. It builds walls. And standing here, in front of that mural, he wondered if those walls had grown too thick. A younger kid, maybe 16, stepped forward. Voice shaky at first. "My brother locked up, my cousin got shot. They say chase a dream, but this block chase a lot. I'm tired of heroes who leave when they blow. Don't forget where you from when you finally go." The last line hung heavy. It wasn't accusation. It was fear. Fear of abandonment. The kind of fear neighborhoods learn early. Brianna looked at 50 again. "Everybody leaves," she said quietly. Not angry, just honest. The wind passed lightly through the alley. The mural behind them felt like it was watching. 50 speaks, but not yet in rhyme. He stepped closer, not into the center, just closer. "I didn't come here to be seen," he said calmly. "I stopped because I saw him." He nodded toward Tupac's painted face. "And I heard you." Jaden tilted his head. "You still hear us?" That question was heavier than any punchline. 50 didn't answer immediately, because the truth, sometimes fame, makes the noise louder and the meaning quieter. He looked at each of them, sweat on their foreheads, conviction in their posture, hope disguised as toughness. "I hear you," he finally said. "But the question is, do you hear yourselves?" They frowned slightly. He continued, "You're not just rapping to escape. You're building something. Every bar, every circle, every week." The 16-year-old swallowed. "So why don't more legends show up?" There it was. The real wound. The feeling that once artists rise, they disappear into gated communities and filtered realities. 50 exhaled slowly. Because success can isolate you. And isolation can make you forget. Brutal honesty. No glamour. The beat changes. Jaden looked at Brianna. She nodded. He tapped his phone. The beat switched. Slower. Heavier. More spacious. "Then don't forget," Jaden said. The circle widened. An invitation, but also a test. This wasn't about nostalgia. It wasn't about celebrity appearance. It was about authenticity under sunlight. No studio polish. No second takes. The younger kid whispered, almost to himself, "If he steps in, it's real." Brianna added softly, "No auto-tune in this alley." The instrumental rolled. And for the first time that afternoon, 50 felt nervous. Not arena nervous. Not award show nervous. That kind of nervous you feel when you're about to reveal something real. He glanced one last time at Tupac's mural. The phrase under the portrait seemed louder now. Still I rise. The circle waited. The sun burned. The beat knocked. And the legend had to decide. Stand outside, or step back into the fire. The beat drops. Harder this time. Dust kicks up from the concrete as someone turns the volume higher. The bass rattles against the alley walls beneath the towering mural of Tupac Shakur. No one speaks. Jaden steps forward first. His eyes lock on 50 Cent. Not disrespectful, but fearless. The circle tightens, and Jaden unloads. Jaden, challenge verse. Legends bleed too. They're just richer when they stitch it. Fame turned pain into product for the business. We grew up on your records, studied every sentence. But can you still feel it? Or are you living at a distance? I'm not impressed by plaques hanging on the wall. I'm impressed when a giant still remembers how to crawl. They say don't test kings. I say pressure make him royal. If your crown's still fit, then prove it in the soil. The last line lands heavy. The circle reacts, not wild but sharp. Okay. Brianna steps in immediately, feeding off the tension. Brianna, precision strike. We ain't a skin for a feature. We ain't begging for a cosign. We just wonder if the hunger's still alive behind the gold shine. Streets don't forget, they just watch in silence. See who keep the code and who traded for islands. Pack spoke fire with no safety net. Truth, so raw you could taste regret. So if you step inside, step correct. No legend talk, just respect. The alley goes quiet. No one is smiling now. This isn't fan energy. This is sacred ground. The instrumental loops. All eyes on 50. No dramatic speech. No hesitation. He steps into the center. 50 Cent. First impact. His voice comes in calm. Controlled. Deadly steady. I built my name where survival was daily. Bullets didn't miss me. They grazed me and shaped me. Fame ain't erased me. It tested my core. You question my hunger? I slept on the floor. I come from a block where tomorrow ain't promised. Where pain get inherited, trauma stay honest. You talk about crowns like I asked for the throne. I fought for my spot. I bled for my own. Don't confuse elevation with losing the ground. I move different now, but I'm still from the sound of sirens at night and ambition that's reckless. Success, don't erase it. It just make it reflective. The delivery is surgical. Not yelling. Not rushing. Authority. The circle reacts louder now. But Jaden doesn't back down. He steps forward again. Jaden, second round, more aggressive. Survival's a chapter. It don't end the book. The real test of kings is the bridges they took. We seen icons fade when the pressure got real. Money changed posture, but scars never heal. I'm not discrediting. I'm calibrating truth. We inherit your legacy. What you give in the youth. Inspiration or distance. Connection or myth. We need more than survival. We need uplift. The circle erupts. That hit. Hard. The tension is electric now. Even Brianna looks stunned at how far it's gone. The beat keeps knocking. 50 cracks a small grin. Now it's personal. Not ego personal. Purpose personal. He steps closer. Almost face to face. 50 Cent. Final round. Explosive. Faster cadence. His flow changes. Faster. Denser, more technical. You want uplift? Then watch how I stand. I don't just survive, I expand the brand. Built businesses, pipelines, open doors. Ownership shift, that's real awards. Pack gave voice, I gave structure. Turn street ambition into corporate rupture. You rap rebellion, I rap evolution. Same pain, different distribution. Don't mistake growth for abandonment. I planted seeds in management. If I stayed broke just to look authentic, that's self-destruction, not advancement. You want hunger? I feed whole teams, turn neighborhood doubt into global streams. Legacy ain't loud, it's strategic moves. Real revolution, ownership improves. The speed increases. Internal rhymes stack. Breath control tight. The final line hits. Silence. Then, the alley explodes. Not chaos. Respect. Real respect. Jaden exhales slowly. Brianna nods once. No applause. Just understanding. Jaden steps forward. Extends his hand. You didn't dodge it. 50 grips his hand firmly. You didn't either. The mural of Tupac towers behind them. Sunlight blazing down. No winner. No loser. Just elevation. The circle doesn't feel divided anymore. It feels sharpened. And for the first time that day, it doesn't feel like old generation versus new. It feels like continuation. The beat fades out. No one rushes to speak. The heat of the Los Angeles afternoon still presses down on the alley in Compton, but something in the air has cooled. It's no longer tension. It's understanding. Jaden wipes his face with his sleeve. Brianna exhales slowly, and 50 Cent steps back, not out of defeat, not out of dominance, but out of respect. The circle widens again. No center now, just people. For a few seconds, nobody talks. You can hear distant traffic, a dog barking somewhere down the block, a faint helicopter far overhead. Real life continuing. Jaden finally speaks. That wasn't about disrespect. I know, 50 replies. Brianna looks at the mural of Tupac Shakur. We just don't want to feel alone out here. That line lands heavier than any punchline, because that's what it was always about. Not ego, not competition, not generational pride, loneliness, the kind neighborhoods know too well. 50 looks at each of them again, but this time differently. He's not evaluating talent. He's seeing responsibility. You're not alone, he says quietly. No performance in his tone. No rhythm. Just truth. The younger kid from earlier, the one with the shaky voice, steps forward. You really mean that? 50 nods. I didn't survive what I survived just to stand far away from it. The group absorbs that. No applause. Just absorption. They sit down on the curb. Sneakers scraping concrete. The speaker is turned off. For the first time since the afternoon started, there's no beat. Jaden asks, what was the hardest part? Not about getting shot. Not about fame. About the journey. 50 doesn't rush the answer. Losing people, he says, and realizing success doesn't bring them back. The alley grows still. Brianna swallows. My cousin didn't make it last year, she says softly. No one looks at her with pity, just presence. That pain, 50 continues, you can let it rot you, or you can let it build you. Jaden looks at the ground. Sometimes it feels like both. That's because it is, 50 replies. No sugarcoating. The mural behind them feels closer now, like it's listening. Jaden glances up at Tupac's painted eyes. Do you think he knew? He asks. Knew what? Brianna says. That he'd still be here like this. 50 studies the mural carefully. He probably hoped. He pauses. But legacy isn't about being remembered. It's about being continued. That hits. Continued. Not copied. Not worshipped. Continued. You don't honor him by imitating him, 50 adds. You honor him by being fearless in your own voice. The younger kid nods slowly. So we don't have to sound like anyone else. Exactly. A breeze moves through the alley. Brianna smiles slightly. You know what's crazy? What? Jaden asks. We almost didn't rap today. We were tired. Jaden laughs softly. Yeah, I was about to cancel. 50 shakes his head. Never cancel purpose. They sit with that. Purpose. It feels different when someone who's reached the top says it. Not motivational. Earned. Jaden stands up slowly. So what now? 50 stands too. Now you keep doing this. He gestures to the circle. No cameras needed. No validation needed. Just truth. Brianna looks at him. You coming back? He considers it. Maybe, he says. Not a promise. But not a dismissal either. The younger kid suddenly says, Can we take a picture? Jaden elbows him lightly. Don't ruin the moment. 50 laughs. It's okay. They gather for one photo. Not flashy. No exaggerated poses. Just sweat, sunlight, and sincerity. The mural of Tupac towering behind them. The final gesture. Before leaving, 50 reaches into his pocket. Not money. Not a business card. Just his phone. He handed it to Jaden. Put your email in. Jaden hesitates. For what? For opportunity, 50 replies. Not a handout. An opening. Brianna's eyes widen slightly. But she doesn't celebrate. She understands. Opportunity is heavier than applause. Jaden types carefully. Hands the phone back. Don't disappear, he says quietly. 50 looks him directly in the eye. I won't. The closing image. He walks back toward his car. The sun still blazing. But something feels lighter. The alley behind him isn't just another stop. It's a reminder. The circle reforms. The speaker turns back on. A new beat begins. And this time, when Jaden starts rapping, his voice carries something different. Not validation. Connection. Brianna joins in. The younger kid follows. And under the watchful, painted gaze of Tupac, the legacy doesn't feel like history. It feels alive. Not because a legend showed up, but because the circle never stopped. The light begins to change over Compton. The harsh afternoon glare softens into gold. Long shadows stretch across the alley. The mural of Tupac Shakur glows under the amber sky, the paint almost alive in the fading sun. The circle is still there. Smaller now. Closer. No tension left. Only rhythm. The beat playing through the speaker is slower, soulful, reflective. A sample hums softly behind steady drums. Jaden steps forward again, but his posture is different. He's not challenging anymore. He's building. Sun going down, but the fire still lit. We more than the blocks they expect us to quit. If legends can listen and still understand, then maybe this cycle ain't built on quicksand. His voice carries farther now. Not louder. Stronger. Brianna follows, her tone smooth but heavy with meaning. Golden horizon, we stand in between. Past and tomorrow, the now and the dream. They told us survival was all we would be, but survival's the root, not the top of the tree. The wind moves softly through the alley. Car headlights flicker on in the distance. And leaning against his car, watching quietly, stands 50 Cent. Not at the center. Not interrupting. Listening. Really listening. The beat shifts again. Minimal drums. Wide space between kicks. Jaden looks toward 50. Not asking permission. Just acknowledging presence. Then he nods. An invitation without words. 50 pushes off the car slowly. Walks back into the circle. This time there is no challenge. No ego. No proving. Just continuation. The sunset reflects in his eyes as he begins. I seen the bottom and I seen the peak. I learned real power ain't loud. It's deep. You don't carry a legacy, you plant it in soil. Water it with struggle, protect it with toil. We lost too many to pride and rage. Too many young kings locked in a cage. If my story means anything past my name, it's that pain don't end you. It refines the flame. You don't rise alone. That's illusion and myth. You rise when you reach back and build with the sixth. Sixth sense of knowing the future is near. It's standing right here, and it's fearless. Silence. Not stunned silence. Sacred silence. The sun dips lower. Orange turns to deep amber. Brianna steps closer and speaks, not rapping now. We'll keep it going. Jaden nods. For real. 50 looks at them one last time. I know. No dramatic handshake. No speech. Just understanding. He gets into his car. The engine starts softly. As he drives away, the alley grows smaller in his rearview mirror. But the sound doesn't fade. The beat continues. The voices continue. Under the golden sky, beneath the towering mural of Tupac, the circle keeps moving. A new kid steps in, then another. The younger generation laughing between verses. Brianna correcting a rhyme mid-flow. Jaden hyping someone else instead of himself. The sun finally slips below the horizon. Streetlights flicker on, and the mural, now lit by the soft glow of evening lamps, looks different. Not like a memory, like a witness, like a guardian. The camera pulls back slowly. The alley, the circle, the city beyond. And the final sound we hear isn't 50's voice. It isn't nostalgia. It's youth, rapping into the night, carrying something forward that can't be bought, streamed, or awarded. Legacy isn't what survives in history. It's what survives in people. Fade out. The beat continues.